Our first look severe weather day continues across the area as we now have an area-wide flash flood watch. We've already seen flash flood warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings out there today, and those chances continue into the first part of your week. We'll take a closer look.
It's heartbreaking. I mean, nobody wants to go through that.
It's the first Sunday since the Eastern Kentucky flood. I'll tell you what one church in Powell County is doing to help.
Police are investigating after they say a shooting victim was dumped in a Lexington yard. We'll have the latest details on that coming up.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
We are dealing with another hot and humid day here in the Bluegrass. Thanks for watching WKYT. I'm Kristen Kennedy. More storms are moving into the area, and they could bring flash flooding and heavy rain. We begin tonight with Chief Meteorologist Jim Caldwell on this First Alert Severe Weather Day.
And you know what, Kristen, we've been tracking these showers and thunderstorms for a while now. Again, they have just really fired up and moved through the area. Got a decent little complex out to our east across parts of Rowan, now into Morgan County, sparking a severe thunderstorm warning a little earlier. And then this area just kind of blew up out to our west across Spencer and into Washington counties and just really came together with more warning potential all over it. And actually some warnings are associated with that. Right now, getting in on some heavier rain, some lightning now also crossing over into Elliott County. We go back into Menifee County, tracking a decent little thunderstorm through there. And then you see down the Bluegrass Parkway what we are tracking with these thunderstorms. A lot of lightning, heavy rain winds right around 60 miles per hour. So there's some pretty intense stuff still ongoing out to our west. And by west, of course, I mean of Lexington. We come in on a flash flood warning that's in effect through 7:15 tonight for Harrison and Nicholas County. So we have a few more, or roughly an hour or so and change at least left on that one. The rain, at least the heaviest stuff, has now started to calm down through that area. Still tracking some across parts of Nicholas County. But the overall picture in the coming days, a flash flood watch in effect now through Tuesday morning, as it should be, because we certainly need it, because we're going to have more rounds of showers and storms even tonight, tomorrow, and even into your Tuesday. We'll take a closer look at all of this coming up in just a few minutes.
These storms are causing more flash flooding problems for people in eastern Kentucky. Search and rescue crews in Lawrence County say some families had to seek higher ground when water started rushing toward their homes. We're told the water has since receded. A small church in central Kentucky wants to be a big help for flood victims in Johnson County. Leaders at Harbor Light Worship Center in Stanton saw what happened in eastern Kentucky. The images, they say, broke their hearts, and they decided to collect donations and raise money for victims. Sean Moody is in Powell County. He has our top story at 6.
Well, Jimmy Cole says inside his auction house, his organization was able to raise a little more than $1,800 last night for flood relief. He says he wants to help out as much as he can.
All righty, everybody. Praise the Lord this morning, everybody. It's good to be in the house of the Lord this morning.
Harbor Light Worship Center's only been here in Stanton for about 3 months. The congregation isn't huge, but they're looking to make a big difference to the people of Johnson County.
We, as a community, understand what Johnson County and the surrounding counties are going through, because we've went through it before ourselves.
Melanie Watkins said it's been tough to see the images coming out of Flat Gap.
It's heartbreaking. I mean, nobody wants to go through that.
Well, as I must want.
Pastor Jimmy Cole also runs an auction house in Stanton. Last night, Watkins said an auction there brought in a lot of money and donations.
To date, we've raised over $1,800 for the relief efforts, not to mention all the donations of paper towels and clothing and toiletries that we need to get up there to those people.
Tonight they'll make their first trip down to Johnson County, hoping their little church can help fill a big need.
We can't rebuild homes or replace memories, but we can certainly rebuild people, and that's what we want to do.
Now, we also talked with some of the people at Johnson Central High School today. They said they still need people to bring in things like rubber boots, socks, underwear, cleaning supplies, and things like that. You can find a full list at our website, WKYT.com. In Powell County, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Johnson Central High School is the distribution point for all donations coming into Paintsville. One person is dead and another seriously injured after a crash in Laurel County. The Laurel County coroner says a minivan and a semi crashed on Kentucky 80 near London this afternoon. The coroner says the driver of the minivan died. Emergency crews airlifted a passenger in the minivan to UK Chandler Hospital. We're told the crash victims are from Texas. And in Somerset, one person had to be flown to the hospital after a crash. Police say this afternoon a motorcycle and a car crashed on Highway 80. The motorcyclist went to the hospital. Crews hope to have that road reopened soon. Lexington police are trying to figure out who shot a man downtown this morning. Someone heard the man screaming on Burnett Avenue around 6. When police got there, they say he had a gunshot wound in his stomach. Hillary Thornton is talking to a neighbor who found the victim in his front yard.
It was a scary wake-up call for a man out here on Burnett Avenue after he says he heard screams for help, then finding a shooting victim out in his front yard.
I was asleep, really. It was about maybe 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning. And I woke up when I heard somebody screaming and yelling for help. And called the ambulance and police come in.
Santos Quiros says he sat with that victim who had been shot in the stomach.
He arrived here, this little hole.
Quiros also talked with the man, trying to keep him calm until first responders got there.
He said, "I hold my hand and this," and then he's sweating, shaking.
Police say when they got to the scene, the victim was still conscious and able to talk, telling them he had been shot and could not breathe. They say he then asked officers to call his mother. He was rushed to UK Hospital and taken immediately into surgery. Meanwhile, police are trying to figure out what exactly happened. They do say they believe he was shot somewhere else and then dumped along Burnett Avenue. They do think the shooting happened in that same part of town. They also say they have a witness who saw a man get into an SUV after dumping the victim. But so far they have not found any witnesses or information about the actual shooting.
I hope he's still good. I hope he make it.
While he is thankful he was out here and able to help, he says he was just doing what he hopes anyone would do in that situation. In Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Detectives told us they are still waiting to interview the victim. They also do not know his condition. 6 people are recovering tonight after a shooting at a nightclub in Louisville this morning around 3. Police say someone fired shots at Cole's Place on West Kentucky Street. Witnesses told them a man dressed in white opened fire on the crowd. One of the victims was a pregnant woman who delivered the baby right after the shooting. Mom and child are expected to be okay. Louisville police have not made any arrests. The inmate who didn't return to Lexington Friday night after a work release is back in jail. Just before noon today, Rodney Bowman turned himself in to Lexington police. He was originally in the Fayette County Detention Center for theft by unlawful taking and tampering with physical evidence. He was supposed to be released on those charges today. Families packed the Dunbar Center in Lexington this afternoon for the Dirt Bowl games. The annual event moved locations after someone shot 5 people in Douglas Park last month. One man later died from his injuries, and the violence raised some concerns about park safety. WKYT's Sam Smith went to the basketball tournament and talked to people about the change of venue.
Those participating in the Dirt Bowl are used to this change in venue. This is where they play whenever it's raining. Organizers say this will be a smooth transition for Super Sunday. Organizers say this showcase event will be without vendors and will be just about basketball. When the event is at Douglas Park, vendors usually come out to sell products to the crowd that this event generates. The decision to move the event indoors to Dunbar Center was made because of the deadly shooting on June 21st. Police say they can offer a greater level of security inside a gym rather than outdoors in a park. Folks here are happy this event is continuing. They say it means a lot to this community.
It's really like a big family reunion. People come back that haven't been here for a while, you know, come to watch the games. The only thing different is we're actually indoors and we don't expect the type of crowd that we would have had at the park.
Organizers hope to be back at the park and have everything go on as usual next year. In Lexington, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Organizers say there will be 5 games tonight and a slam dunk contest. The group made the trip from Pikeville to Lexington to raise money for Shriners Children's Hospital. And as Mike Linden tells us, they're celebrating what they call Christmas in July.
While it might not look nor feel like it, more than 200 motorcycle riders are celebrating Hillbilly Christmas in July here at the Lexington Shriners Hospital.
For the 10th year in a row, a group of motorcycle enthusiasts from Pike County called the Hillbillies are raising money for the Lexington Shriners Hospital. Organizers say more than 200 riders are raising money by riding to Lexington today. The Hillbillies are also auctioning off items for charity at a silent auction. This is also the first year the event has added a classic car cruise-in. Hospital officials say this is one of the largest events of the year, with all of the money raised going directly to those who need it most.
The money goes to Shriners Hospitals for Children. It's an unrestricted gift, so it's used to pay for really all you see here, the staff, the care that we provide to the children.
Organizers say in the 10 years they've been doing the fundraiser, they've raised more than $500,000 for the Lexington Shriners Hospital. In Lexington, Mike Linden, WKYT.
Organizers estimate they raised close to $70,000 this year.